Hello guys, welcome back to Heimler History, and today we are continuing our knowledge of Unit 9, and specifically the effects of 9/11. Today we are talking about how the economy changed after 9/11. So if you're ready to get your brain cells melted economy style, let's get started. Looking at the period from 2001 to 2011, today we will be answering the question of how did Manhattan rebuild economically after the 9/11 attack. But first we're going to need some background knowledge on the 9/11 attack. The immediate damage on Manhattan was a lot, costing around $83 million in total damage. Tourist and retail sectors were hit very hard, but small businesses will always be hit harder, with about 18,000 small businesses disrupted, destroyed, or displaced. Additionally, sadly, 3,000 lives were lost in the attack. When you would add up the lifetime earnings for these workers, the total would be around $7.8 billion in income lost, around $2.8 million for each worker. The stock market also took a massive hit, with around $1.4 trillion lost in stock market value, and it was shut down for about a week. So, what was the response? Bush responded quickly to the attack, providing comfort to families and a whole lot of cash. Bush promised $20 billion in federal assistance to help rebuild Manhattan. Cleanup took around $1.5 billion alone. This was the largest government response then to any other previous event. Insurance companies covered the majority of the assistance, and charities followed. While charities provided less money, they worked quickly and to provide support. Many who were injured, had property damage, or lost a loved one had to file claims to insurance companies to cover the costs. So what happens to Manhattan now? Manhattan will turn more into a residential area, less focused on economical jobs, while the population will more than double, with less financial jobs but higher wages. Many people affected in the 9/11 attack will decide to come back to work, even if they were eligible to retire, to help rebuild their community. This is seen in this primary source. Then came the big day. On October 9th, the employees were contacted and told to report to work at One Penn Plaza. While many of my employees were eligible to retire, no one did. They all returned. I'll never forget the pure joy of seeing everyone again in our temporary conference room. It was one of the happiest days of my near 40-year career. Despite losing all their national commodity files, records, and resource materials, the national specialists, their assistants, and the staff in the Customs Information Exchange were ready to get back to work to perform their assigned tasks. As true professionals, it took very little time before all NCSD tasks, functions, and programs were back and running smoothly. We eventually had our office space renovated to accommodate all our needs. I'll always remember the dedication my employees had to their job and to the customs service in the aftermath of the terrorist attacks. So what do we do with the site of the attack? There were many debates on what should be done with the site of the attack. How should they rebuild? What memorial should there be? Eventually, Mike Bloomberg, the mayor of Manhattan, decided on this memorial that is still visited by many tourists today. But what now? Losses still went to 3 years after the attack, and wages were still not up to their pre-9/11 high. The loss of wages accounts for an income tax decline of more than $400 million. But no amount of money can replace what was lost on 9/11. Around 3,000 lives were taken. Family, friends, co-workers, and loved ones were lost in an instant. Tolls were put on businesses to rebuild after losing so many workers. Families had to figure out how to go on after the attack. The economy may be able to bounce back to its pre-9/11 highs, but unfortunately the lives will not. Okay, that's all I need to know about the economy and Unit 9.6 of APUSH History. Here's my review packet if you need help getting an A+ in your class and then 5 on your exam in May. If you liked what you saw, make sure to subscribe. Heimler out.